this budget is providing, OK, we've had a bit of BBC distraction in the last 2 days, but the budget and the coverage of things that might or might not be happening. So that, and of course, that's why Rachel Reeves did a press conference to say, look, can everyone please stop talking about it? This is one of the things that she's thinking about, is if you leave the UK, you'll have to pay a fine. And it's called an exit tax. And I thought it was 20%. I don't know what they're going to do. How are they going to do this, Tessa?
Yeah, how are they going to monitor it? And the problem is, will it stop big potential migrants, like your well-rich, loaded geezers and girls who come in from countries that aren't Russia? Will it stop them arriving for fear that when they want to leave, they're going to have to offload?
Yes.
Do you see? So is it a disincentive to invest in the UK, along with all the other disincentives, like very high inflation, bond levies,
tax through the roof? I mean,
well, no, but this is potentially more taxation.
Yeah, and we already
it's almost
have.
as if, I think the way it would work is this. Let's say you've bought some shares. You've bought them for £100 and they're now worth £300. You've made £200 on paper, but you're not taxed on that because you haven't cashed them in yet. Normally, you'd be able to leave the country and keep your shares. What they're saying is, hang on, you've made £200 on paper. We want the tax on that before you leave.
Yeah.
So it's a capital gains tax that's applied as you leave. And effectively, it's a 20% tax for leaving.
And property. I mean, say if you've got your residential home and you decide you want to leave the UK, they will say, right, well, OK, you've made £1 million on that house. If you were buying another house or keeping it in the UK, it would be fine. But if you're leaving and taking that money out, well,
let's leave it. A lot of people might leave.
Because it's an exit tax.
Whoosh.
What worries me is that if you look at where our economy has historically succeeded, it's in the service industry, it's in finances, it's in the media. A lot of people come in, it's got to be quite fluid. These are high-earning individuals. If you want to encourage them, it's all well and good, and I happen to sit on the progressive left, I like to think, but if you hit those top earners and their potential to earn, then you don't get the trickle down that would come from their investment.
OK.
And this is ideology over practicality, which has been the way in which the economy has been run by this government from day one. They like to have ideological wins, but actually, from a practical point of view, look at capital gains tax. They increased the capital gains tax rate. Capital gains receipts have gone down because people aren't just taking the risks or selling the asset, but they're happy because they think they've got a win against rich people.
Yeah, so
it's ridiculous.
There's some coverage over the weekend which said that they, in order to kind of not disguise but distract from the rise in income tax, which will hurt a lot of Labour supporters, they're then going to bring in the mansion tax, which will only hurt Tories. So that's so when they're told you're just hurting your own people, they say no, look at the mansion tax. And I can believe that might be a way of doing it, but the mansion tax has got its own problems, as we know.
The problem is, you bring down the guillotine anywhere, it's always going to chop off a few unwanted heads. I mean, even the VAT on private schools, what you've seen, therefore, is a shrinkage in that market, so more children reverting to state education, which ultimately costs the government money.
But the money from the VAT on private schools was supposed to turn around state education.
And it didn't, because what it did was it gave a glut of children into the state system. Each one has to be paid for.
Okay.